Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about Cersei Lannister's fate in the final season of Game of Thrones. Some of the events you're going to hear are confirmed by leaked photos and leaks, while others are just theories of mine, so let's just jump into it. Unlike other main characters who will at some point be at Winterfell and then at King's Landing and possibly a few other locations as well, Cersei on the other hand will only be at one location during all the final 6 episodes, King's Landing. In the season 8 premiere, story will involve around the arrival of the Golden Company and figuring out the next steps. This up-close look of Cersei on the Iron Throne is from episode 1. At this point, Euron Greyjoy already arrived at King's Landing with the mercenary organization, and here Cersei is having a meeting with them, with Euron and Harry Strickland, the commander of the Golden Company. Fans who have read A Dance with Dragons may recognize the name of homeless Harry Strickland, the commander of the Golden Company. In the season finale, Cersei revealed to Jaime that Euron Greyjoy only pretended to be heading back to Pike, when he had actually sailed to Essos to hire the Golden Company and to bring them with his Iron Fleet to Westeros to serve under her commands. This is not coming as a huge surprise since in the 4th episode of the season, Cersei revealed her intention to take out a new loan from the Iron Bank to hire the Golden Company to expand their armies. The Sellsword Company is one of the largest and most skilled organizations, consisting of 20,000 infantry, cavalry and more elephants. With their help, Cersei will take the advantage of the war between the living and the dead, and will try to retrieve some things that, as she said, belong to her. Those things, as Cersei has also revealed herself, include the lands, the kingdoms that are currently taken away from her. Anyways, during this meeting, Cersei will not feel well due to her pregnancy, and this is her leaving the throne room to have some rest. At the end of the episode, Cersei will have a miscarriage. This is something that was already supposed to happen in the season 7 finale, but the showrunners decided to rather have it in the season 8 premiere. The season 7 finale script reads, "In the middle of the night, Cersei wakes up in her bedroom. Something is wrong. She gets out of bed and grabs a lantern, to find that her night gown and bed are soaked in blood." The reason why the showrunners decided not to air this crucial scene in the season 7 finale is because they decided to rather put it in the season 8 premiere. During episode 2 we will see how it affected Cersei. She will grow more mad and paranoid after miscarriage, more ruthless, which might lead her to decide to send her armies north and attack Winterfell. We know there's a huge battle set to take place between the living and the dead in episode 3, in a battle for Winterfell, but the leaked photos also offered a few pictures in which we see dead Greyjoy soldiers, hinting that there might also be a battle between the living, either after and prior to battle against the dead. If it takes place before the Night King arrives, then Jon Snow and Dany will be victorious, as they are the ones who are fighting the dead at Winterfell, but if it takes place after the living has won against the dead, which would make far more sense, then Euron and the Golden Company could be victorious, even possibly capturing one of the Starks, most likely Sansa. Perhaps that's why Jon Snow will go south to parley with Cersei in the upcoming episode. I cannot help but think that Sansa herself foreshadowed this in the previous season, when she was explaining to Brienne why she is not going to the Dragon Pit meeting. She said, "I will not set foot in King's Landing while Cersei Lannister is the queen. If they want another Stark prisoner, they can come take me. Till then I will remain where I belong." Perhaps they will come and take her at Winterfell, but that's just a theory. Anyways, one thing is certain. The living will fight the dead in episode 3, and Jon Snow will for whatever reason go to King's Landing in episode 4 to meet Cersei. From the leaked photo, we saw Jon on the city walls being escorted by a couple of men in black to a meeting with Cersei. During this parley, a Lannister flag flies above the fortress, so whatever scene is filmed, it takes place when Cersei is still in charge. Also, the director of episode 4 was seen during the shooting, placing this scene in already mentioned episode 4. Cersei and Jon Snow meet one-on-one in King's Landing, surrounded by the mountain and Cersei's Queensguard. In episode 5 or 6, the capital will fall along with Cersei. The biggest spoiler we know about the final season of Game of Thrones is the fall of the capital. King's Landing will be burned down. I already talked too much about it in my previous videos, so I will not be discussing these leaked photos now, but one is certain. With the fall of King's Landing, its queen falls along. There are many possibilities regarding Cersei's downfall, but whatever the case, it will all start with the Golden Company breaking their contract for the first time, siding with Jon Snow, leaving Cersei all alone, making her more mad and ruthless than ever. We are constantly being told that the Golden Company has never broken a contract, which pretty much means they will break it, the reason being Aegon Targaryen himself, Jon Snow. In the books, they break a contract for the very first time and join up with Aegon VI Targaryen, also known as the Young Griff, during his invasion of Westeros. Young Griff doesn't appear on the show, but many fans think that in the show the Golden Company will break the contract and switch sides for Aegon Targaryen and Jon Snow, once they learn of his true lineage and probably with a bit of help from Varys. After all, black or red, the dragon is still a dragon. That's going to be a beginning of Cersei's downfall. As of who might be the one to put an end to Cersei and her madness, it could be many characters, but her brother Jaime would be the most satisfying choice. Look closely at this screenshot from the Season 7 premiere that might have foreshadowed Jaime being the Valonqar that will put an end to Cersei. Above Cersei's head the words neck, just above Jaime the fingers. Will Jaime wrap his fingers around Cersei's neck? Perhaps. If Jaime is in fact Cersei's Valonqar, this prophecy will likely come true in the final episode of Game of Thrones, as I don't see Cersei dying anytime sooner than that. How will it go down? It will all definitely build up to that moment, as I already said before. Cersei will grow more and more mad, and Jaime will seek for his final great deed for what he'll be remembered for. Basically, Cersei's long anticipated downfall and death will be caused by her becoming the Mad Queen. Winterfell will fall early on in the season, and all the living will have to retreat south. King's Landing is the largest city with a population of 1 million innocent people, and therefore they cannot allow the Night King to take it, because it will mean the end for the living, meaning that the final stand against the Night King will be at King's Landing. This is not coming as a huge surprise, since not only have leaked photos confirmed a huge battle in King's Landing, but the capital has been established as the main and the most important location in Westeros. It would not make sense to have the final battle in Riverrun, or Sunspear or the Eyrie. It's got to take place at King's Landing, and it will. So somewhere in the mid-season, Jon Snow, Dany and the entire living side will decide to go to the capital, to face the great and the final battle, helping Cersei defend it since it's the largest city with a population of 1 million people. Even though Jon and the entire living side are coming to Cersei's aid, Cersei, who's at this point gone full mad, will be preparing a trap for them. She's lost everything, she's all alone, and if she can't win, none of them will win. That's how she thinks at this point. Cersei's endgame plan is to have all her enemies, both the living and the dead, fight within the city of King's Landing, whereupon she would use wildfire and burn them all. Cersei's plan in this theory is basically to wait in the Red Keep, for the army of the dead to breach the city walls, and for the great battle to take place inside the capital. Cersei would then burn all her enemies, the living and the dead, using wildfire. However, Cersei will not manage to pull off this plan since the Valonqar will stop her. The Valonqar being the one who already prevented such plan from happening during Robert's rebellion. Jaime Lannister will stop Cersei from burning down the entire capital to the ground. Jaime will kill the leader of the Seven Kingdoms once again, but this time people will not mock his name. Jaime will be remembered as a hero, and this great deed will fulfill his empty pages in the famous Book of Brothers. This would, in my opinion, be the best possible way to execute the Valonqar prophecy, and the end of the Lannister twins, the Mad Queen and Jaime Lannister. There's one more plausible and fitting ending for Cersei that I've been promoting on my channel for quite some time. For you that have been watching my videos, you probably heard it before. It includes Cersei, Arya the Ironbank, Clegane Bowl, and reappearance of Jogging Hagar. Basically, upon realizing they invested in wrong ruler, as Cersei might cause the fall of Westeros since she's not supporting the living side, which would ultimately mean that the Iron Bank would not have its due, the debt would not be paid back. That's the moment the Iron Bank will hire the Faceless Man to put an end to Cersei's madness. This is when Jaqen would sneak into Winterfell disguised as Northerner and would reunite with Arya. Jaqen would then say to Arya that the many-faced god requires another death. Arya, shocked and surprised, would most likely say that she is not no one, but rather Arya Stark of Winterfell, pointing out that she is not assassin, and does not plan to obey any order nor to kill anyone for the many-faced god. Jaqen would then reveal the name of a person whose death is required, the Queen of the Seven Kingdoms, Cersei Lannister, who betrayed the living side and is conquering the Seven Kingdoms while the Great War rages. Arya Stark already wanted to head to the capital and execute Cersei Lannister in the very beginning of Season 7, which means that she will most likely accept this offer in order not only to cross off possibly the biggest name on her list, but also to kill the only person who betrayed the living side. Senator Clegane, who will in the very first episode of the final season arrive at Winterfell with everyone else, would probably decide to help Arya since with the mountain on her way, Arya will not be able to either kill Cersei or survive upon killing Cersei. Once they sneak into the Red Keep, the two would go straight into Cersei's chambers. Arya, wearing Qyburne's face or even Jaime's if he's at this point fallen, would kill Cersei, and just when the Mountain would draw his sword to kill Arya, foreshadowed Clegane Bowl would take place. The Hound would fulfill his promise that he gave to the Mountain in the Season 7 finale. It's not how it ends for you, brother. You know who's coming for you. You've always known. There's one link that goes in favor to this theory, which says that Arya will in episode 5 be at King's Landing and she will survive the burning of it. Nothing can be said for sure, but there are definitely some clues and hints. Although I'd love this ending, I'd still prefer Jaime killing Cersei. Not Arya wearing Jaime's face, but Jaime Lannister himself. One way or another, Cersei will not survive the Game of Thrones. I'm curious what's your take on all of this. And don't forget to leave some questions for the upcoming Q&A video in the comment section down below. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to subscribe to our channel, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.